Hey, what's going on, bike people of the internet? In this video we're going to do a teardown of this Saracen Tough Tracks. I don't know what year it is, I suspect it's early to mid 90s, say 93, 94. But as the video goes on, my spidey sense starts tingling, and I actually think this frame might be a fake frame, so a different brand with different with the Saracen logos on it. But I bought this bike on Facebook Marketplace for just £40, so it's not too bad, and it's got quite a lot of nice purple anodized parts and RockShox Quadra-21s with some 7-speed XH full group set, even including the hubs. So the only thing we're missing is the brake calipers. So yeah, overall I don't feel ripped off, but it's just kind of an interesting explore and teardown of this bike. So this is filmed back in probably October 2024, before the weather got really bad, because riding along this trail at the moment is just a bog. Yeah, it's a nice bike. It rides quite nicely, but with those skinny commuter tires, they're just really heavy, rubbish tires, really. So yeah, they were kind of dampening the things. Also, the front forks are absolutely rock solid. They don't move at all. So I'm expecting either a lot of corrosion on the inside of the forks, or the elastomers have gone absolutely rock solid. So yeah, that's not what we're going to explore in this video. But we'll just tear down and figure out what this bike is or might be, or even if it is a Saracen. So yeah, follow along and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think it might be, or even if it is a Saracen. So yeah, get in the comments please. So we're back in my garage after that first sort of introduction. I'm keen to show you around this bike in detail and give you my thoughts. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it in the future, but for now I need to tear it down to save some space because I'm running out of space in here for other projects. Yeah, let's fly around the bike in detail and show you all about it. So let's have a fly around this bike in detail before we break it down. Starting at the bars, we've got these kind of classic ergo ring grips. I remember these from being a teenager. My local bike shop used to sell these. I'm pretty sure I've had a set of these on my very first proper mountain bike. We've got these nice XH shifter brake lever combos, 7-speed. So this must be early 90s, and there's like a nice cool purple colour. Check that out, the logo. I like that. This really matches with the bars, but we'll move along a little bit. Someone's changed the adjusters on this. Like, that's gone a bit manky and it's overextended here, but that's pretty neat, I think. M system. It's kind of cool. We've got these Rito 6061 T6 downhill bars. I want to reuse these on a different bike, but they need a bit of refurbishment because this bolt's quite oxidized. And moving along, we got the system free components stem there. Not heard of that brand before, but it's pretty neat. It's got like an integrated wedge, which I quite like. Keeps that smooth along the back there. Onto the sort of left hand side, we've got this light bracket, or maybe it was a speed computer. Go in the bin, no use to me. And again, XH 7-speed, 3-speed on this side, shifter. It's a bit gammy, so can you see how slow that works? So I'm going to take these off. I'm going to give them a clean out with WD-40 and see if we can get those clicking properly. And again, it's got a nice anodized blue adjuster in there, which is pretty cool, I think. I'll probably change those to something different if I reuse these, but definitely a nice brake lever to have for different projects in the future. I don't think I'm going to be using one on this bike, or I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this bike yet, I should say. At this point in time, it might become a cheap commuter for me, but yeah, not 100% sure. So sort of the cockpit sorted out. It's got a Tioga A head type, if I can get it to focus. Let me zoom in, maybe that's easier. Yeah, it's got like a ISO goes bad. Let's try one. Anyhow, it's got a quite a nice looking Toga headset, so definitely keeping that. The Saracen badge is missing from the front here. We've got this like skull and crossbones, which I'm not so keen on, but it's like a little mint sauce hiding around here. Again, Toga Alchemy headset. Forks, we've got Quadra 21s, and they are absolutely rock solid. I think the elastomers are gone. So I might do a separate teardown video. I might include it in this one to see what's going on inside of those. Let's touch back on those in a second. We have this like Vanguard hippie straddle hanger. Kind of cool. Pretty into that actually. I'm pretty sure I had this from my local bike shop in blue, maybe in like 97. Kind of remember those. The Vanguard brand anyhow. And we have these nice purple Diacomp 986 brakes, which are pretty good. I'm very keen to reuse these. Looks like it's got the original pads, so I'll probably change those out. And all the fasteners have gone a bit furry, but I think they might be savable. Moving down a little bit more, I think these might be X-Lite brake bosses, and this will have been a bright blue at some point in time, and it's kind of faded to sort of a stealthy gunmetal. I'm pretty sure I got a spare set of these somewhere. It might even be a matching set, but I think they might be red. So that would be a nice little combo, but again, the bulb's gone quite rusty, so we'll see if we can de-rust that. And yeah, back onto the forks. We've got, so this would have had little shock boots on it, but it's got these neoprene ones, which is probably not a good thing. The standard plastic rubbery ones would have been better, because I feel like this neoprene soaks up water. But yeah, we'll pull them apart. It might be a separate video on this teardown for these Quadra 21s. Not quite make my mind up yet, but we'll see how this one prevails. And yeah, let's keep going down. We've got this sort of Transex quick release lever here. This looks quite pink. I'm guessing it was purple, and it's just faded over time to pink. Rims, we have Shimano X-Age hubs, so nice matching set. Give me a second, let me rotate the wheel with one hand. We have Weinmann Bontrager BX 3C rims. I'm not sure quite what order you say that. B3CX, I'm not sure. Either way, half decent quality rims. But we do have some pretty crappy commuter tyres on it. They're not actually in super awful condition. I can't, oh no, maybe they're starting to perish and crack, but yeah, V Rubber brand. Oh yeah, you can see all the perish, they're going straight in the bin. Yeah, V Rubber brand, nothing exceptional. So that's the front end of the bike. Let's go back up to the top. We have this, I think this is a Volta saddle, but I think it's too far gone. You can see it's all peeling away here and not looking great. I'm guessing this is a Calloy seat post, single bolt, RockShox sticker, pink sort of Transex, quick release skewer here, not too bad. Let's move down, let's go down the down tube. Moving down the down tube, we have the Saracen logo. It's looking a bit tatty. I'm missing a few letters. Pump holder with no pump. We've got this kind of cool purple bottle cage. I can't remember the brand. Can you see it on there? I think it might be Elite. These little like aluminium plastic gripper things here. I'm quite keen to see if this can be saved, because it's all a bit bent up at the moment. It's not great. There's some little purple anodized bolts in there as well, which is pretty neat. Yeah, so not bad. On the seat tube here we have RockShox Racing, Tough Tracks, and there's like a Tange or Tangay MTB tube and sticker down here. Again, purple bolts everywhere. It's X-Age front derailleur has purple bolts in it, which is kind of cool. This is pretty nice. We have this X-Age chainset. The logo is a bit worn off here. It's a bit of a shame, but generally it's quite cool. Someone's upgraded it with some purple anodized bolts. It's looking pretty
nasty in there. Definitely needs a clean, but none of the teeth look particularly pointy or shark-like. I think there might be life left in those. Pedals, we have some, I can't see any codes on them, but like made in Japan SPDs. These are pretty cool. I've definitely got a bike for those. I might put these on my Kona Cinder Cone, which is very much period correct. I'll link that up here now if you want to watch a Cinder Cone build. So got a home for those. Moving along the chainstays, got a purple DCD here, very early one with 2 bolts. Very nice, got a home for that. I think it's very early, yeah, it's got the hard wheel in it. It does feel quite stiff, so definitely refurbish that. Got a frame sock here, so interested to see what state it is under there. And we have an X-Age rear derailleur that has been thoroughly pimped up. Got blue jockey wheels which are super loose if I can get in there. Don't know if this will focus, but yeah, can you see that wobble? We've got some sort of Mr. Crud cog hog, I think this was. Sort of roller majig, or was it roller majig? I can't remember. I think the cog hog might have been a comb that goes through there. Someone's even upgraded the bolt here to be a purple one. Again, sort of pinky purple quick release on here. Rim. B3CX, a Weinmann Bontrager version. So yeah, nice quality wheel set. Again, it's an X-Age hub down there. And on the back here, we have another Diacomp 986. Again, looking pretty crusty. Again, with these little bolt extensions, which look quite nice. Someone's definitely gone to town on this bike once upon a time with purple and occasional blue bits. There's even a blue cable end there, purple bolts there. I think this was someone's pride and joy when they were a teenager. I think, yeah, this would have been, yeah, 16, 17, 18-year-olds sort of get around bike, weekend job bike. It's kind of cool. Now, onto one of the strange things is the frame. It's labelled as a Saracen Tough Tracks, and I have some doubts about it. I think it could be a different frame or maybe an earlier frame. I can't find this in the catalogue anywhere in this colour. All the catalogues I've searched for a retro bike, I can't see it anywhere. And there's some very un-Saracen things about it. So most of the Saracens I can find either have cables along the side of the tube on this side, the back here, rather than the top. And the seat quick release binder, instead of being welded to the back here, it's usually welded to the front. So it's kind of getting my spidey sense going a little bit. I've seen this brake bridge, however, yeah, I should say, I've seen this brake bridge on other Saracens, this little hang bridge here. So maybe it's off catalogue thing. One thing I think will show up is when we remove the rear wheel, we should be able to look for some logos along here. Maybe it's an older bike, it got powder coated a different colour. I think potentially that might be where it is, because my very first mountain bike had these same logos on, and I'm pretty sure that's from like 95, 96 onwards. Older Saracens have quite sort of graphics logos, like colours and patterns. Whereas this is quite a simple sort of metallic based colours. Quite like it. But yeah, I'm keen to get it apart. I'm not 100% what to do with this one in the future, but I need the actual space at this point in time to get some other projects underway. So let's pull it apart. We definitely need to do something with those forks because they're awful, and we'll take it from there. So before we start this teardown, there's one last thing we need to do, and that's check the chain for wear. I do this with a Park Tool chain wear checker. It's a CC 3.2 if you're interested. This is a simple little Presto thing. I think they're about £6-7 on Amazon or your local bike shop. You've got two wear indicators here, 0.5 and 0.75. You should be changing your chain when you're at 0.5, and if you get into 0.75 you're probably going to need a new cassette. Your chain's too worn out and it might jump around. So with 0.5, if this was a new chain it wouldn't go through these gaps like this. I'll zoom in if I can. So yeah, this is a worn out chain, but it's not super worn out, so it won't go through on a 0.75, which means the cassette has life left in it. We can reuse this cassette, but this chain needs to go in the bin. So I'm just going to use a chain checker to check the wear on the chain. So 0.5 first. That goes through, which means our chain is worn out. It's time to change the chain. 0.75 doesn't go through. So the chain's worn out, but the cassette's probably okay. So we're going to bin the chain, keep the cassette. On modern chains, there's a quick link. You can use a tool like this to get in here and pop the links apart and make servicing and changing a chain easy. On these older type 7-speed ones, that was a rarity. It wasn't quite invented yet. Just spinning this around, I can't see any quick links, so we'll have to go the old-fashioned way and use a chain breaker. Let me fly around. I've got my little toolbox down here. Chain breaker, and break the chain, and do it the old-fashioned way. I mean, if you weren't keeping the chain, you could just use some like saw or bolt cutter, but if you don't have the tool. But these are cheap and affordable. I'm using a Park Tool CT5 for those who are interested. Made in USA. It says USA on it. Assume it's made in USA. But yeah, these are good and handy. So I'm going to break the chain up here, just because it's DC-DC is on the way on the bottom. I'm just going to squeeze in like this, and I don't mind if I pop the pin all the way through because this chain's for the bin. It's quite greasy and horrible, so I'm just going to wind it until that pin pops through and it goes easy. Back that out, and remove the chain from the bike. Before we put the bike in a work stand, I like to remove the bits that like to get stuck on a bike. And there's a few things for this: pedals, cranks, and bottom bracket get stuck in the frame. I like to do it on the floor with the wheels on the ground, so you can really lever against the bike using its natural contact points rather than trying to bend. If you imagine it was a seat post here, you're putting all your force on that seat post. So if you had a lightweight aluminium, super lightweight skinny aluminium seat post or carbon post, you could cause some damage. So at this stage it's always pedals, chain set, and bottom bracket out first before we move on. So let's get those undone. This is where I hope it's not stuck. Okay, that one was easy. Oh, very no grease on that though. I like to collect all the parts for the bike in just a little plastic box, just so I know everything's together. And let's try this side. Hopefully it's the same ease. Oh, that's tight, that one. Okay, I'm coming up. Now, the flats of the pedal are not quite where I want them to be. There we go. Yeah, that one's quite a lot tighter in there, but they came out. We didn't need to use any heat guns or penetrating oil, but they are badly assembled in there. Look, not an ounce of grease on that thread. That's not particularly good mechanicking. Trying to see if any part numbers on here. These bearings feel pretty rough in here. Needs taking apart and servicing to reuse. But yeah, that's those two. This one feels good, but this little seal here is split. It's a bit of a shame, but can't complain too much. Oh, there's the part code on it. It's under all this grease. They are I don't know, FD something or another. See if I can see on this one. I know it's under too much junk. Ignore me. Let's work on the crank and or chain set, depending on what you like to call it first. Hopefully, oh yeah, that's pretty easy to take off. Ooh. Goes in there. And let's take it off first. Let's work on this side. There is the extractor. So, using a chain extractor, a chain set extractor, crank extractor. This one does a couple of different versions, so I need to pull out this pin from mine. And then we can thread it in here. Make sure that's sort of level across there. That goes in there, hopefully. Careful not to cross thread it, just ease it in. And the one thing to do is make sure that's fully a home, because crud and crap can get in there. Let's make sure there's plenty of thread engagement and it's quite tight. And simply wind that one in. And with a bit of luck, it comes off quite easily. Feels quite tight. Okay, it's going to be a fight up. There we go. So that's come off. Let's remove the tool. That was quite tight on there, that was. And not much sign of any grease, maybe a little bit. Not much grease on the bottom bracket. Chain set looks in decent condition though. M520, made in Japan, 170s, that's my size. Definitely reuse these in the future. Actually, I might have a project for those. What size chainring is that? 110 BCD probably. I might have a project for those in the future very soon. So yeah, that's that side. Let's flip the bike around and get the other side off. So let's get the non-drive side off. There's some sort of sensor on here. It's probably for a cadence sensor, I reckon. Way back when. Oh, that was really loose. Off it goes. And in goes the extractor. Let's make sure that's home. Yeah, that's good. Let's tighten it down. And there goes that one. Use the ring end. And, oh, it's tight. See, this is why I like to do it on the floor, so I can use all my body weight on it quite easy. And that comes off. And to be sure, there's this annoying little sensor on here. I'm going to see if I can just cut that off quickly. Maybe that's not the tool. Maybe it is. No, it's going to scratch it. Maybe this side. Ooh, it's stuck on. It doesn't say anything on that side. Shimano, Japan, VIA. Does anybody know what VIA stands for on Shimano stuff? Is that like equivalent to limited company or something along those lines? Like German ones have GmbH on it. And 170, so yeah, matching set of length, most importantly. Next, let's have a look at this bottom bracket. Whilst the bike is this side round, let's try to pull the bottom bracket out. I have noticed something though. Actually, let's have a look at that quickly. One thing I've just noticed after pulling that chain set off in detail, my suspicions are perked up even more now, because can you see we've got a Tange or Tange label here, but there's a label under the label there, so I want to peel that back later on and see what's hiding under here. Maybe we can have a look, solve this mystery and see what this says under here. Yep, curiosity's getting the better of me, but we'll do that once we get the rest of the bike stripped down. Okay, I think, if I remember right, we should be going towards the front of the bike. That does not want to move. Oh god, I think I crunched that even more. Okay. That's getting a bit chewed up already. Let's try holding that on there with a bit more leverage from these bars. Oh, it's moving. Is that the right way? That's so tight. I'm lost confidence in if it's the right way around. 1 second. Let's give that another. Ow. Okay, that needs to be held into here now. Let's have a go on the other side. This is a tight one. How's that? Is that in shot? Looks alright. From this side. Actually, let's try it without that first. Okay, this one's moving. Oh, it's tight in it. Oh, I think this is an older school one. The cartridge on the drive side. Feels quite frictiony though. Can you hear that sound? It sounds all dry and horrible. Oh, I'm not sure if it sounds good. Switching it out to a ratchet. If I can find it. still tight. Okay, that's the cup side. There's a Shimano bottom bracket. Hopefully that'll help relieve some strain on the other side. Let's flip it back around. Now I've got that side off, I think I'm just going to spray a little bit of GT85 or penetrating oil in and around it. Hopefully it will make the bearings a bit easier to remove. Let's flip the bike around. How's that? Is that in shot? Yeah, that'll do. Let's try the ratchet. Super tight. Let's move away from the ratchet. I wonder if this one might be a better fit. I'm going to give that one a go with a big adjustable. There's very slight differences between these bottom bracket tools. This one's a bit sharper, but I think they suit different generations a bit differently depending. Whew. What a fighter. Okay, let's try some foot power. I feel like this is going to fail, but whew, that's not good. That is in there. I'm going to go back to this version, I think. Unless I can get this. Oh, I'll give it one more go. What I really want to get is one of those bottom bracket tools with a feature on here that clamps this on, so you don't have to worry about this pinging off when you put a bit of side torque onto it. But I don't have that tool, so this will have to do for now. That's going to pull itself out again. Switching back to this one with the handlebar extension. Is that still in shot? Yeah, that'll work. Oh. It's moving, but only just. Whew. Let's go notch higher this time. Oh, there we go. What a fighter. I think it's time for some heat. So that's super tight in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this cable and that plastic nubbin under there. Then we can get the heat gun onto it, warm it up, hopefully expand it and break the lock. So first things, let's get rid of, let's cut the cable. That can hang out there for now. And I can't quite see. Let me get my spare light under there. Probably just a screwdriver. We should be able to remove this plastic piece and save it. Should we want to reuse it? So put that in the box of parts, and we can get a heat gun onto it. Okay, that's picked up a bit of heat now, so hopefully that will aid our quest to remove it. Or maybe not, that's still super tight. It's a strange one because it kind of releases and tightens again. Come on. I think this bottom bracket's going to be a goner. But it's coming slowly. Let's pull it over here a little bit. This handlebar's just getting in the way. But this is a prime example why you need to do this on the floor. There we go. It's losing the fight now. Why is it tight? Oh. It's not a good sound, but it's coming out. Okay, I think I can move away from this into a ratchet now. This is definitely going in the bin because it is shredding itself. Oh, this isn't good. Whew. It's a bit hot. Just gonna get a towel to pick this up with. Okay, after that palaver, let's have a look at the bottom bracket. And as you can see, it is missing. Oh, maybe it's not missing. Yeah, all the teeth have gone on this aluminium section. It's not looking promising, although it does feel quite good. Quite a lot of corrosion on there. Let's get a rag and see what this says. see what this says under all this. Ooh, it looks quite nice. Oh, the label's missing. It's a BBU, but it feels very smooth. I would have thought that would have been a relatively high performance one, but all the threads getting chewed up there, maybe it's gone. It doesn't look good. Or is that a removable cup side? I'll investigate this later. I won't bore you with it. Come with me, let's have a look inside the bottom bracket. As you can see, it's pretty crusty in there. It's quite a lot of dirt, maybe it's rust. I don't know. I'm kind of keen to take this badge off. I think I'm going to do that next and have a peek under that Tangay badge. Whilst it's slightly warm, I'm going to peel this off, see what it says underneath. Curiosity's got the better of me. What does it say? Come on, come with me. Ooh. Made. Okay, I don't mind. I think this Tangay badge is not long for the world. It's a foil one. Okay, I think this has confirmed one of my feelings. Sprayed by AP. Was that AR? Could that be Argos Racing? Or is there an iron here? This is strange. I'm going to have to put this on the internet and find out what it says. Interesting, that one. So, with the bottom bracket removed, I've popped it in the stand. Let's remove the wheels to make it easier to work around and take it from there. That just makes it a bit easier to walk around, and then we can zoom in a bit. So let's remove the brakes first. I'm going to cut this off and restore it at a later time, so I can chop this cable just here. I'll free that up, and then switch into a 5mm Allen key maybe. It's a bit crusty in there. Or get the brakes off. I plan on reusing these on a build you've seen before, my F600 1995 Cannondale. I think that the purple looks good on there, so I plan to reuse these. Just looking on here now if I can get it to focus, see if I can get any the logos on this section, but doesn't appear to be any on there. So yeah, no luck there. What I'm going to do is undo this, which we'll save this for later. I think these straddle cables get a little bit hard to get hold of, so yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to save that as well. But this is quite rusty, so I'm gonna put this in some de-rusting solution and hopefully make that look tidier for when I reuse it. So for now, I'm just going to put them in a Ziploc bag so the parts don't get lost. Let's give this one a go. Again, this is pretty crusty and rusty, but the purple's in good condition. You can see how that's all oxidized and corroded there, so but definitely got a use for these in the future. Again, on the front brake, we'll repeat this process. So let's chop the cable high up here. And this Allen key is a bit tight for this. It's only just going in there with all that rust. But oh, that's not very tight. Let's wind this off. But yeah, there's that gone. And onto this side. Yep, again, the front ones are actually better condition than the rear ones. So, yeah, there's something going on there. Maybe less crud gets onto them because the fork's blocking. But there's a bit of grease, remains of grease on here, so someone took some care at installing these. Maybe not the bottom bracket, but yeah, those are those done. So let's work on the rear derailleur next. I've chopped the cable up top there so we can pull this through. We should be able to save this little roller majig thing here. It's pretty cool. Would like to reuse that on something in the future, so that's one for to be saved. But this cable can go in the bin. That's, if I can get it to focus. It's pretty cool. Feels like it's free running. Give that a clean up. Definitely a nice little anodized trinket for a bike in the future. Rear derailleur now. I'm going to leave the cable in it for now. Just get the frame back to raw. This looks like it's rounded out. Can you see? But if I push that in, that feels okay-ish. Oh god, that's really tight. Confidence is not high. Let's come round from the other side. It's all sort of resistive feeling. Hopefully this comes off. Oh, it's not good, but it's coming out. It's coming out. It's almost there. It should never be this tight. There we go. Let's have a detailed look at this mech, shall we? You can see how gammy it is. Oh my word, look at that. One sec. Look at this build up on this jockey wheel. If I can get to focus, put my hand there. It's like barely moving because there's so much lube stuck in that gap there. It's like a big Play-Doh ball of gooey black stuff. Lovely. The top one is incredibly loose. You see that? That cannot be shifting well with that much slop in it. That's outrageous. At least it's not so gammed up. The threads look okay there. But yeah, this will go in the spare parts box, I think, for the future. Maybe these anodized jockey wheels end up going on something else. They don't look too sharky, so they might have life in them, but that looks very wrong to me. Let's get this DC-DC removed. DC-DC? DC-DD. DCD, not AC-DC. I had AC-DC in my mind. So let's pop these off. So these almost always fall apart once you take them apart, but there we go. I'm pretty stoked to have a purple one. These are a bit, maybe they're a UK specific thing, but they sell for really good money on eBay. So let's pull that off. I think, oh, I lost the bolt. It's in generally pretty good nick in there. How's the view from your angle? Just coming back over here to check it. Looks pretty good, but I feel like the tape that was in here has seen better days. It's gone crusty and horrible. So yeah, not great. Let's save the bolt before I forget that. I'm keen on servicing this and reusing it on a different build soon, because they're very iconic of a certain point in time. They always get damaged up on the front here from chain slack, but this is lovely. It's not faded too bad, hasn't got too many chips. The roller feels okay. We'll definitely reuse this one. And let's pull off this frame sock. That's actually not too bad condition. I think that might be able to be cleaned up and reused again in the future. It looks a bit crusty, but it's not super thin, so that's got some potential, so we'll keep that as well. Let's get this front derailleur next. It looks to be in pretty good condition, and I quite like all these little pimped out bolts the owner put into it. Let's unfold that. Save that in there. We'll pop the cable out. So yeah, made in Japan. FDM 320. Yeah, looks cool to me. Just want to try tweaking this up. So yeah, that's all twisted and bent. That needs some proper TLC, I think. But let's take it off. Okay, that's that removed. We've got some pump holder here. Yeah, don't need that, we can go in a bin, but bottle cage, elite, purple, maybe it's savable. It's definitely got some cool anodized purple bolts there. Whilst we're in the area, let's remove these purple bolts. Oh, this is like two different sizes in here. Oh, if I can get it to focus. Focus. Anyhow. These ergo ring grips, I think I want to save them. Maybe for a future build, not 100% sure. They're kind of oval in section. They're quite comfortable. I remember having these as a teenager as an upgrade on my first mountain bike, I think. So I got some reminiscence? I got some memories of these, and I quite like the feel of them. So I'm going to try to save them. I'm going to try something a bit different. Someone was recommending GT85 as a grip remover the other day. Not sure how I feel about that myself, but we'll give it a go. We'll just pop some lube in here. And we'll try to work it round with a big fat cable tie. That's pretty slippy now. Okay, that come off pretty easy. Let's find out if that works in the future. That actually works really well for taking those grips off. So yeah, two nice grips hopefully saved. Let's get the shifter combo removed next, so we can lose this brake cable from here. That's almost at the right spot already, but that's jammed in there. Hopefully we can... That's not good. Okay, that can stay like that for now. What we can do is remove units here. Oh, it's going to be a 5mm. That can come off. Get rid of those outer cables, don't need those anymore. Yeah, definitely have a use for these in the future. Feels really light actually. This is not in the thread in here, can you see? That it's absolutely solid. So what I'm going to do is be a bit brutal. Just want to see, this is a bit brutal, but see if this can get this removed, because it's cross-threaded in there at the moment. So, oh god, it's not good. No, I'm going to leave that. That's not going to come out there without a fight, but we'll save that in the future. Something for a future project. So let's get this other side off. There we go. That's off. Pretty cool. Whilst we're in this area, let's remove this little plastic nodule. Maybe it was a bike computer. These can actually be a bit of a pain in the bum to remove sometimes, because there's usually like a Phillips or flathead screw in the bottom, and they can get really rusted in position. So fortunately this one does feel like it's coming out quite easy. That's the bolt released. That's that done, and that nice bit of rubber. There we have the bars ready to go pretty much. I can go in a bin. With everything removed from the bars, let's remove the bars from the stem. We're going to have to take this faceplate completely off to remove these bars. And I do plan on reusing these ones because they're pretty cool, I think. Although these bolts will need some TLC. Let's get that one out. And this one. Bars off. Pop them on the floor. And ooh, there is some machine marks in here. How the hell do you machine that mark there? Ah, it's the thread. There's cross drilled up there. It's very strange. But yeah, let's put the face plate back on so the bolts don't get lost for the future. There's nothing particularly wrong with this stem. Quite actually like it. I'll remove the MBUK stickers from it though. Don't rate those so much, but yep, that's next to be removed. Okay, whilst we're in this area, let's remove the top cap. It's quite a nice Tioga one. Looks to be in good condition. It's not even rusty, so I'm going to definitely save this bit for future builds. Hopefully that's the last time it's going to click on that stem. It's a bit resistive. There we go, it's broke free now. That bolt's free. That's properly wedged in there. I get a little flathead screwdriver, I think. Just hopefully not scratch it. I just need a bit. Oh, it's pretty tight in there. There we go. Ooh, I was expecting some sort of like a fir tree type fitment there, not a tube type fitment, but that's quite neat. What I'll do is I'll put all the headset pieces into a bag so that they don't run away from each other and kept safe for later. Next, let's get the stem removed. No spacers on this, so someone was feeling adventurous. That's come off pretty easy. See, it's quite a nice stem here. It's like this expanding wedge in there. Yeah, definitely could reuse that in the future. The angle's a bit strange there. It's almost like that angle's vertical when installed. So it's kind of unique. Definitely that sticker has to go. The eternal stench of damp wool, hey? Mint sauce with some sort of, maybe a gun, but yeah. System free components, kind of cool. I've misplaced my mallet somewhere, so we need to tap that off, but it's very sharp on the top there. So Usually I'll just use a mallet topless. I don't want to use a hammer, it might damage that. So I got a bit of sacrificial wood, which we use to release this, hopefully. There we go. Ow. Ooh. Look in there. It's a headset with actual grease in it. That's a rarity. And there's plenty of grease on these ones as well. Well, that's nice to see. It's a horrible white lithium grease, but that'll do us. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Got enough zoom for you? The quality in here is actually not awful for a change. Sorry, it's expanding wedge, and there's actually plenty of fresh grease in there. I feel that's a rare, unusual thing. Although that seal has failed just there, but that's not the end of the world. Let's remove this headset next, I think. I think that's what I want to do next. Let's capture the parts into a headset bag. That bearing is in mint condition. There's not a spot of rust on that, look at it. Maybe it's a little bit, but mostly headsets look ruined. And that cup's gone as well. Okay, nothing but the cups left in there now. Let's remove some of the grease. Now, one tool I've never owned is the correct tool to remove headsets. I've always used this rod of soft aluminium, popped it through the frame and captured it on here, and just get it captured and work it around, and it always works. So that's one headset cup. Let's do it upside down. It's a bit harder to do upside down. And it's coming. There we go. And that's how I remove a headset. This is very soft. 1050 aluminium, so nearly pure aluminium. So the headset cup's much harder than this, so it doesn't cause any damage, and that's why it kind of gets slightly mushroomed over at the end, so occasionally you have to sharpen this up, because that gets a bit bad, but yeah, no damage. But eventually I'll buy the proper tool if I see it on sale or something like that, but it's not an everyday job for me, removing headsets. I mean, I've done it a lot more recently with all these retro bikes, but the tool is relatively expensive. I think it's like 30 or 40 quid, maybe even more. Park tool one. I was hoping I'd find one in the Wiggle fire sale, but I didn't find one. I didn't see one that come up for the right price. So I stick with the old tappy tappy tap tap method. And I just need one more thing to do, is save these bits down here. That's a seal. There is a headset ring on there, but I'll save that at a later date. The hand's a bit mucky. Let's remove the saddle next. I think it's beyond saving, but we'll see if we can find out anything interesting about it. That's loosened off, and that's coming free. Any second now, that's gonna spin. Oh, no, it's gone. Let's zip that back in a bit. Okay, what is it? Yeah. Can you see any of this? Definitely a Vuelta. Bassano, made in Italy. Anybody see any date codes? Oh, there's a 94 there. Made in 94. I don't think that's as bad as what I thought it was initially. I reckon you could, with some work, re-glue that around the edge. I'm not like super keen on this snakeskin finish. I reckon that could be saved, potentially. It's right on the border. Let's put it in a box. Ah, the plastic split. Okay. I'm going to say that's ready for the bin. If that wasn't split there, maybe it could be saved, but I mean, it still could be saved, but Vuelta Bassano. I don't think that's like a particularly famous or nice saddle. It's kind of cool though, but not for me. I don't think. I think, yeah, we'll give up on this one. There are a few little bits left on this frame, like these cables, which can go straight into the bin. We've got some more purple anodized goodness. These pannier bolts just here. We'll save those. That's those two bolts. And we've got this kind of cool Transex quick release here. But that's going to release the frame. So I'll pull this from the frame. Am I still in shot? Yeah. And oh, it's going to go slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Is it going to drop before I get this quick release in the bin? Not in the bin, in the parts bin. See, all the parts are collected just in this box here. Right, frame down. We don't want to leave that seat post in there in case it starts corroding. Right, let's pop the frame down behind the bike stand for a moment. And seat post can go in the parts bin. Let's pop this into the frame stand again. Let's give it a quick wipe down. Oh, don't tell me it's... Just want to turn it upside down. Ooh. Get that bit off. That's kind of cleaned up now. Clean enough for now, anyhow. So I'm going handheld now. Do we believe this is actually a Saracen? We've got seat clamp here, not totally unusual, but most times I've seen Saracens with this logo anyhow, with the seat clamp on the front face here. Sorry, look at what I'm doing. This straddle hanger, what do you ever want to call it? Cantilever, callop. Can't get my words out. This hanger here, this cable hanger, I've seen this on Saracens before, so that's definitely maybe. Moving down the frame, it looks like a generally quite high quality frame, I would say. This tubes here, maybe these welds are a little undercut, but not too bad. Moving down, nothing shouts bad quality or anything like that. these sort of brazed in dropouts are pretty nice. I was hoping to find some sort of labels on here, but they're pretty smoothed off. There's some evidence of some here, if I can get it to focus. Come on, focus. Maybe zoom out. No, zoom in. But the paint's so thick, can't see anything on them. Chainstay, not too bad. It's quite nicely profiled with this little curved tube in here. Quite a wide BB, it must be a 73. Moving up the seat tube again. Got this Tough Track sticker, so this is like 95 onwards, I think. This sort of style, this foil style. It's really nice looking, but obviously it's missing a few. Top tube, this is where it gets strange. I feel like these should be here on the Saracen, or internal, which is the other option. But I feel like these tubes are definitely butted. Can you hear that tone change? If I tap here, so we're here where the weld is, where it's thickest, and you can almost see it. The ring's definitely more in the middle. Like a high quality chromo frame. 1.1/8" headset, so it's not inch and an eighth head tube. That would only come on a decent quality bike at this point in time, so it's not like some budget spec bicycle. It would have been a decent one to have such a big headset. Again, this tube feels like a nicely butted tube for most of the centre section. Saracen logo here has taken some damage, but nothing a new sticker couldn't sort out. I do love these. Can you see that in the picture? You can't really. There's like a foil grain to it, so it all flows in that direction. And seat tube here is kind of ovalized at the bottom bracket, a bit like the Kona's used to, so it's been squashed. So it's wider this way to make it a bit more laterally stiff. I tried to make out some frame codes on the bottom there. Nothing indicates that it's a Saracen. One thing I did do yesterday was look up this old phone code. So this is an older style phone code which changed in the 90s, but this one was from the Coventry area, so sprayed by whatever that is, ARI Racing, I don't know, but that seems to be a Coventry area phone code, I think. Anyhow, looking at Wikipedia. So yeah, this one confuses me. What I might do is grab another Saracen and look at some details in that so we can cross compare. Moving down to the dropouts, you can see we've got, I mean, they're quite nice. No markings that say Saracen or Ritchie or anything on them. But the eyelet pointers here on this one. Eyelet pointers integrated into the dropout here. Again, might be a later frame thing. You never know. Yeah, no sort of serious mountain bikes on the chainstay here, but that's okay. But again, if we hold this on up to here, it's kind of similar in the bottom bracket area of a slightly bent tube, although these are slightly different. The one on the power tracks here is on the left is much wider, it feels. On the bottom bracket itself, one thing I did notice, let me flip it over, is, I won't show you on the power tracks, but the text on this one is kind of in line across here in lines, but on the power tracks it's sort of radially around it, so there's a slight difference there. And yeah, is it a real Saracen? Does it matter? It's quite nice. It's not super heavy. I mean, it's kind of heavy, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure what to do with this at this point in time. I might turn it into some sort of cheap commuter or something like that. I might just see if anybody wants to buy it. It definitely needs a bit of cleaning up. It's had a respray, but I kind of like this British racing green. It's kind of subtle. Make some new decals for it, and yeah, take it from there maybe. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you would do. I think maybe I might restore this one next. Not 100%, let me know in the comments if you want to. This is only going to be a light restoration on this, sort of take out all the bolts, because it's got some Mazzocchi R's or Z2s or X2s. What are these Mazzoccis? Mazzocchi, XEs. Actually feel pretty nice, but they're just a bit too crusty for my liking. So I'm going to take these bolts off, and like this power multiplier thing here doesn't really work. Just generally needs a good dose of TLC. I might switch the stems to something a bit lower and racier. I need a longer seat post in it. For me, this is just a little bit too low and it's over the limit. Fortunately, I've measured up the seat post. It's a 26.4. Got a couple of those in my spare parts bin, so we can reuse those. So yeah, I might do this one next. I kind of like this turquoisey colour. It's really nice. But I've got plenty of projects on the go, so yeah, maybe this is a good one for the winter. I think I'm going to keep all the Olivia on it. Different saddle. It come with a big sofa saddle originally. But yeah, I've put this WTB on to use. And the front shifter's not working, but anyhow, I diverged too much. Yeah, let me know what you would do with the old Saracen down there.
So thanks for watching if you've got this far into the video. I'm trying a bit of a different format at the moment, a longer format without so many video edits and cuts. So yeah, still haven't decided what I'm going to do with this bike. At the moment it's all in bits and pieces in my garage, so yeah, probably going to reuse all the parts because it's a cost-effective way of gaining parts for different bikes and getting those back on the road. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.